Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to whoever you are and wherever in the world you currently are. If we're back at IPS, I wish you a wonderful beginning of the 2024-2025 academic year. I'm sending you this 5-minute clip in the hope that I can benefit you in one way with just 5 minutes of your time, not even 10 minutes. Your time is worth as much as mine, and so I hope not to bother you for too long. As you can see, the name of this little workshop is the 5 minutes that make or break your class. Now, I have the middle of a class pictured twice. In one, disciplined, civilized, teachers in control. Picture at the bottom, anarchy, chaos. Could be the same class. These are stock images. Could be the same subject. Could be the same time of the day. But why did these neighboring classes potentially behave so differently? Is it the way in which the teacher explains the topic to the students? Is it the students before them? Are we looking at particular groups of kids? Well, I like to think not. I've only had 4 years of experience, but I think I'm in a place to not advise you in any particular way, but just share my experiences and help improve your teaching journey or life wherever you are. So the 5 minutes I'm referring to don't actually begin with the period. The 5 minutes start with the closing of the previous lesson. Now, if your students don't know when to pack away and don't know when to leave the classroom, and there's unrest setting in across the room, you're losing control. Nobody's listening to you, and tension's starting to build. Maybe not with them, their mind is elsewhere. Instead, within your mind, you have a class in 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. They're waiting at the door, and you still have a class in front of you. So, marking the end of your 50th minute period with just that, a full stop. The students know when they should pack away. You know when students are supposed to be packing away as it's included in your closing task. It could be an online submission. It could be a denotation of some keywords, definitions. I'm an English teacher, so that's where the examples are coming from. But you remain in control. I try to keep my students too busy to disrupt. If they're sat around chatting, waiting for the end of the period, I'm not in control. Give them a citation exercise, something that keeps them busy. It doesn't have to be formative. Let them know that the task is valued. Followed by the 2 minutes. I've not even started my next lesson yet, and I'm already focusing on the 5 minutes that make or break class. So the 2 minutes in between, how do I spend that time? Do I shake the hands of the students going out? Then I need to go to the bathroom. I need some water. Maybe I need some more coffee. We're teachers, of course. How do I get some peace and quiet? For like 30 seconds, breathing in the staff room. But what happens after that? Students are still waiting for their class. So setting standards from the first lesson. I don't like to say this in the middle of a year because there's nothing we can do. If you haven't made first impressions, I can't, nobody should be telling you, well, you should have done this. Great. You're not helping me in any way. I can't implement these for another 6 months. The benefit we have right now is you are still to deliver your first lesson. So, drawing the line literally, you could draw this line outside of your classroom to keep them away from looking in the window. They're out of sight, they're out of mind, and they know that you're not going to tolerate this. Secondly, you need things written on the board for them to copy down as soon as you tell them to enter the class. You can shake their hands, you can give them a hug if you're so inclined, ask them about their day. But to everybody else that you're not talking to, date and title, copy it down, open your books, open your laptops, turn your laptops on. I would, as the class are leaving the previous session, be erasing my notes. This keeps me busy, shows the kids I'm not waiting around, I'm not staring out the window, I'm not picking my nose, I'm not drinking my. I am busy the same as they are. Now, starter task is displayed on the board. I don't write these down with board pens. Instead, I have these ready on a presentation. So it can get a bit hectic, but it's just 5 minutes, or in this instance, 2 minutes. You're changing the presentation. Don't let them into your room. It's your room. Why would you let them into your classroom while you're still changing the presentation? I use the excuse, you're going to see the answers, stay out of the room. And then when you're ready, you bring them in. And maybe this could be after the bell rings, maybe 20 seconds, 30 seconds. So they lose 30 seconds of learning, but you've saved 49 minutes and 30 seconds of a strong lesson in which you are in control and chaos will not ensue. Then just don't let them in without having finished up. Now, as it's 5 minutes, I've got to fly through this. So, the beginning of the next class, we only have 1 minute left of this 5 minutes that make or break a class. So, the starter task is already on the board. And I say this to them, starter task is on the board. I'm not going to tell them, be quiet, stop talking, sit down. No, they have energy, especially grade 10. I don't know about middle school, but they have energy that they want to use. Are they going to chat to their friends? They want to be doing something. They don't just want to sit quietly. The same as you and I. We're teachers and we don't like being told, sit down and wait. Or wait for what? This is our time as well as yours. So get them busy immediately. And if they we can have a tendency to shout louder than them, but keeping them busy and telling them you're talking too loud in order to focus, you don't need to have a competition of who can shout louder. In fact, I've never found myself in this position just keeping them so busy. Now, if your starter task is not on the board, your back is turned because you're writing it down, you've invited them in already, you're not focusing on them, they now have free reign in your room. They're kids. What do we expect from kids? That's why we're teaching them these values. That's why we're teachers. Face to face, eyes on the class. You're showing them you're prepared for this lesson. You have worked tirelessly to put this together. You deserve their respect. And you're not going to tell them that. You're going to show them that with the lessons that you put together, consistency, and demonstrating to them that they will benefit and they will succeed if they complete your tasks. If they're farcical, they're not going to complete the tasks. But at the end of the day, we're adults. We need to accept or question, was there a role that we played in this and how can we overcome it? Finally, taking this time to register and read announcements while they're doing the starter task. Do the announcements from your phone or from your laptop. You can write them on the board. I would advise you to do the register and announcements while they're busy, while they're working collaboratively, or moments before we announce. Time's up. We're going to do announcements. Finish off your answers. Pay me some attention. Listen for your names. Now, arriving at your classroom to work. So rather than them knowing that your classroom is a free period, they don't get a second to breathe. Setting the scene for maybe the next 45 minutes, connecting to the previous lessons, showing them that just like their essays, your lessons are connected. They're a series. Everything overlaps. Everything is interconnected. These themes, these concepts, these conflicts, maybe mathematical equations, anything is relevant. And you refer to them previously. Yes, we need to put in effort at home, but we see the reward in the students before us. So that's all. And I hope that I've helped you in one way or another. Thank you for your time.